I am speaking with Impa Kasanganay, the 2023 PFL Light Heavyweight Champion of the World. I'm not an announcer, so I can't do that justice. But Impa, how's everything feeling after the monumental win?
I mean, all was great, man. Just back in training, enjoying the days, having loving what I get to do, loving what I get to do with the people that I love. I went on a motorcycle ride for about 12 days with the PFL Europe and Ireland, right? I went to um doing doing what I love, man. I'm just grateful. And I appreciate you taking time to have me on the show. Like, it's cool, it's like a different place to speak about these things and just continue to do what I love. So yeah, I'm in a blessed place. I am. I'm in a blessed place, and like life is always gonna be life, but I'm grateful too.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time as well because this has been a very cool journey this year. And I got to talk to you before the Challenger Series and before the playoffs and then before the final. And, you seemed confident throughout, but I do want to know if that confidence, if you kind of felt it growing within you, after each fight and each win.
Oh man, my confidence doesn't come from the fights, though. It's like I say, people ask me like, I think, oh gosh, I'm not sure. Sorry,
That's all
like,
right. We're used to it. It's fighting.
sorry. My confidence comes from God, right? I said it before the season, right? I didn't know all those guys were gonna pop up. I didn't know pop hot. I didn't know anything, but I knew I was called to be there, right? And I take it back to when Delano Taylor fought on the championship season. This is pretty cool. I saw TFL. Really gonna stay active. And then I saw, he won the world in semifinal. All that. And then I saw Elvin Espinosa. I cornered Elvin actually. He was performing on the Challenger Series. Man, Challenger. That's what we did. That's what we did. Because I didn't have the opportunity to fight the PFL at that time. Right, a couple weeks later, I was going to fight, and I didn't care what it was, what was going on. I just said, "Watch this," and I prayed on it. I remember just how I got the announcement and everything about the fight. I was listening to the song, the worship song. I was praying in the shower, and I got the text PFL. And I was like, okay, Challenger Series, okay. Like the Challenger Series contract. It's not like this major thing. It's not anything like that. You don't know what's going to be on. You get one opportunity, and I just had faith, right? And that's where my confidence comes. It comes from my faith. Like I knew deep down in my soul. It's like when Hebrews 11:1 always talks about faith is the evidence of things hoped for. The assurance of things not seen. People can't see it physically, but I knew, and I'm gonna keep taking these people out. I respect my opponents. And you think that in Martin Henry, Corey Hendricks, Josh Sobert, better people that have fought in the season. Respect Tim Karen. I would say he was like, well, like, what was it, Osama Saidi in the Challenger Series, right? They had the good parts of the fight, but I knew I came to claim the victory. It's mine. We'll do the same thing this season, right? And hopefully we'll win. Not hopefully, but we'll be talking again. God willing, if it's a scheduled interview, but no matter what, man, like, I'd be honored to still talk. 2024 season champion. That's what I'm gonna be. That's who I am. And if we do any of these indication fights or whatever may come up, they've been talking about, I'll take anybody out. And not only fighters fight, but you have to know who you are as a man. That's where it comes from. But it's how I've been raised. So my parents raised me, and so I've been raised in faith and blue collar, move forward, work hard, make it happen, no excuses, and build. And that's what
Well, you,
that's what
you talk about the 2024 season. There might be a card before that, and that's that Bellator PFL card. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that. And it seems like Vadim Nemkov might be moving to heavyweight. So do you even know who you could be fighting yet?
waiting to see. I'm waiting to see, so I don't know yet. But whoever it is, I'll take him. I'd move to heavyweight. I'd say like heavyweight. I'd go down. I don't care. Like, I know God calls me to do something, I do it, I move forward. And for me, it's just about being the absolute best version, trusting God to be obedient in that, right? And I find it a great gym. So looks amazing, right? And DK Fitness down in Miami as well, right? I have training partners that challenge me and encourage me, right? And that's what you need. And I don't care who it is.
And I know you say you don't care. I will throw out the one name who actually called you out for this recently was Corey Anderson, who said, if Nemkov doesn't want the fight, I'll take it. like you said, it doesn't matter who it is, but is it interesting to now be the target of the call outs?
It's funny to think you now. I think people. It's funny. That's a great question. That's a really cool question, and I appreciate that. So, thank you. I've always seen myself as the champion, as the one who's the targeted one, right? As people say, they said the hunter is not a hunted. No. Mm-mm. It's like if you're in a forest and there's this big, great domain in a safari, like it's always been my land. They just didn't know it. That's how I believed it. So I'm like, they're hunting all these different people. They think this. Like, you think about Rob Wilkinson last year, credit to what he did. You talk about guys like Shoeface or whoever won the title before. Any organization really could be the only thing that person hunted. I've always seen myself there already. So it's just like sometimes you're in the shadow, sometimes you're hiding, and I always seem like that's fine. Like think of it how you want. But I've always seen that, and I'm very at peace because I prepared myself to be here, right, for months and years ago. The only reason I got into MMA as a fighter, right, is to be champion in fighting. So everything I've done, the way I think, the way I go about things, is because of that. And now that I have the title, the belt, right, for whatever value that brings, and another one to consider hunting, I'm like, man, like you don't know how many conversations I've had with myself, prayed about, talked about, went through scenarios in my head that if I'm the one who has a target on my back, people don't realize they have a target on theirs too, because I'm still here to hunt, right? Yeah, I'm still here to be the one who takes them all out. I still love it. I still am driven by it. I'm still driven by like who God called me to be. I'm in the ministry. I always tell people after every fight, unconditionally love. Follow what God called you to do. I'm grateful you claim these victories, and my purpose is not of my calling is not done, right? So it's like I look forward to whenever those unification fights are. Great. Whoever may be, I'll claim victory. Respect the court. Okay, talk to court. Here you go. I like that fight too. Whatever. You know, it doesn't matter who. You're my best friend. It could be my worst enemy, whatever that may be. I'm here to claim victory. That's what I'll do. You know?
It's always been my land. They just didn't know it. I love that quote. I love that outlook. That's very cool. Um, you made your own call out after the win, and that was Francis Ngannou. Um, we don't really know what's going to happen with him yet. I'm just curious what heavyweight would look like for you. I mean, would you have to bulk up a little? Would you just go in at your walk around weight? What would you change?
I go around my walk around weight. I mean, when I played college football, the biggest time I was 245, 235 when I was running, moving around as an athlete. So it's like I know I can carry weight well. And I'll just probably like 220, 225. And I was looking at like I was referring to my faith, but it's like the David Glass story. Always a giant in the sling watch, like also take him out. Right. That's how I look at it. Like I respect the God. I love what he's doing for him. And like I said, I fight my best friend. When I love somebody, it doesn't mean that we won't go back and forth. It doesn't mean that. So if I love somebody and I fight them, I still love them after. I really am inspired by God. I'm really inspired by what he's done as a fighter, as a man, what he did in the UFC, what he's doing for PFL, what he's doing now, the story goes from Cameroon, what did the Tyson Fury fight. Respect to him. He's been doing this thing, he's done this thing, continues this thing. And if you're here to be the best, and if you really people say they want things to be different done in their life, things to be done differently in their life, they have to choose to make things different. And that's what I like. For me, going to heavyweight, to dominate. That's what I see. Claim victories, finish these guys, move forward, take every opponent out. When I take Francis Ngannou, I'll take him out too.
Well, it sounds like for now, you've got Bellator and you've got the season. So getting back to the 2024 PFL season, you're now a defending champ. I guess that puts a little bit of a target on your back, but the matchmaking in these things is set. It's not like people are going to hop the line or anything. Having been through the season now once and being successful, is there anything you would change about your approach to it, or would you just stay the course?
Oh man, you always have to refine. That's what I believe. You always have to refine yourself. You cannot sit here in life and never be like, oh, I'm kind of just stay the same. Like, no, like, when you're a kid, you have your kid ways, right? When you become a man, you have your man ways. You have to let go of the way you grew up as a kid. That's my first year in PFL. It's, it's, it's an indication of what I'll continue to do. And I'm gonna be that much more dominant. You remember that Kobe Bryant, Kanye West commercial? He's like, are you the same animal but a different beast? You got to check it out if you haven't seen that commercial. It's the truth. I I have to get better. I have to refine. You know, there are fights in the season where I can pick myself apart and look through it like, you could do better there. And I demanded of myself. Focus, all finishing this season, right? And so it's four fights, four finishes, five fights, five finishes, and the indication of six fights, seven. It doesn't matter. Like, kill them, claim the victory, move forward. And so I'm eagerly expecting. Sorry about that. Eagerly expecting, looking forward to dominating the season and showing part of me that people haven't seen before. Getting to share that with them more so than like showing people. And yeah, so there's a lot. There's a lot that I'm working on to myself mentally, physically, spiritually as a martial artist, and I'm patiently waiting for 2024 season to get started and whether they have these invitation fights or not, whatever. Like, let's do this. Whoever it may be, take them out. Here's like an appetizer, right? And then like now watch what we do.
I haven't seen that commercial, by the way. I'll have to check it out.
Check it out.
Definitely. Now, I guess, like you said, the Bellator card might actually be an appetizer. And I was going to ask about whether that changes anything for the season, but I guess you did the Challenger Series last year, so it's really going to be the same number of fights.
Mm-hmm.
What I do
Same
want to
number of
know,
fights.
what I do want to know is, when it comes to the money here, you can spend a lot of time in MMA and not make the kind of money that you made last year. How much of a sigh of relief do you have knowing that you've now got, a bit of a safety net and you can maybe reinvest in yourself a little, take care of your family a little? Like how much pressure off is that?
It's like good question. I'm not satisfied yet. You know, I'm not. There's so much more I want to do for my family. Like, you know, as you plan on making $1 million in your life, right? And that's a goal from I would say many people, right? And that's an achievable goal in different ways. I want to be set apart. I want to be the guy who's, waiting on this $1 million to come, and you get it, and you're like, okay, life is good. Then you complacent, and then you fall off. It's deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. I think people get lost and blindsided by what money is. There's inflation. There's like sometimes you have a lot of money. Sometimes the money that you have means nothing. Generational wealth and a financial moment in time, big wealth moment in time, right, is not a securing factor for the rest of your life. You look at your life as a business, you look at these companies in business, they're not the PFL, UFC, Bellator. Nobody's just happy with $1 million to make a great thing. That's not what's bringing in the crowds. It's not doing anything. It's like you have to go for more. Like, and it's not about the money. It's like what you can do with it, right? I want to change my parents' life, my future family's life. It's like a first investment at capital, but it's not what I want to be satisfied on, right? $1 million a fight, hundreds of thousands of dollars a fight, $500,000 fight, and reinvest that. Because I think that what happens with fighters, people think that fighters in general, or anybody like that, they can think they're lower than they think that they don't have a sense of what financial freedom can really be. $1 million is good, it's solid. But when you want to change your whole family's life and honor the legacy of your ancestors and everything that's come, like I haven't done much yet. And that's how I look at it, which is good for me, right? The belt's special, but what does it mean, right? You could be waiting on $1 million to come and it's like, okay, I'm not one of those people who's going to just sit here and be like, dang, like, we made it. Because we didn't yet. We did not yet. We didn't. The focus is to be what goes down in history for the greatest to ever do it. The greatest to ever do it. And I look at it like that $1 million is the first one. But for me and my standard for myself, getting that one fight, it's not it's not the greatest achievement that I'll have. It's a solid one in my life, but it's man, like I want to see my parents live free for real. I want to see my future wife, whoever that may be, future kids, that they're gonna hug them. They can look at them in the morning like, wow, life is gonna teach them like what it means to really do it. So that's why I challenge myself to work the way that I do. I want to keep fighting. I need to keep fighting, and I want to leverage this opportunity to be in PFL. Like maybe I'm not in PFL forever, right? I enjoy it, but I want to make the major contracts. I want to do things that are going to change my family's life forever and for real. And I want to see that. So it's like I want to be the person who looks back on my life and wonders like, could you have done more? So when I see that $1 million, I don't let it blind. I don't let it blind me. Like when I see it, I won't let it blind me. I won't let it be that thing that's okay, cool, you have the second 2024 title. The $1 million is like grateful. Well, what's next? Right? What's next? Like if we talk about our land, the one who's hunted, the target one, like let's see that live in the safari, the king of the jungle, quote unquote, right? Your first champion is the king of the jungle. Okay, people are coming at you, but you still have to wake up tomorrow. You still have to train. You have a lot more other prides, other lines to take out. That's the joy of it. I always say that the warrior's greatest reward is not just the titles, it's not this. The warrior's greatest reward is the next battle. So it's like getting rewarded with that, getting rewarded with that, and that will leverage. If you have the right team around you, the right people, trading wise, financially, family, like who you come home to, that's when it'll be like, okay, that's when I'll sit down and go, all right, God, thank you. When I go to heaven, I just want to hear God say, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's my ultimate goal. So $1 million, it's nice to have. It's nice to have all that stuff, but it's not that place in my life where I'm like so complacent. So I'm very grateful for being PFL champion. I'm grateful for this, but it's like the value of being the best has so much more to it. And I haven't gotten there. I haven't stamped my place there yet, and that's what drives me. And if God gave me, He said, "Well, if I did everything that God called me to do, and I made it to third best, second best, fourth best, I trust God. I'm content with where He's called me to be life. But I'm not. I'm not satisfied yet."
Well, I love seeing the motivation, and like you said, this is one step, the next step in the journey. Looking forward to the step to come. If that Bellator card is in, I guess February is the targeted date, and then once the season starts up, looking forward to seeing you work your way back to that final. Impa, congratulations again. Thank you again for the time today. Best of luck in the season and in the crossover card when that happens.
I appreciate you, man. Happy New Year. God bless. Thanks for having me on.
Happy New Year. Of course, anytime you are welcome. You guys have a great day.
Appreciate it.